Dang, it's early. Walk a little faster. What up, PMC? I saw your picture. That's why I went. That's the poetry. It's kind of a ghost dog reference. The poetry of war. Just like one of the quotes I used was, all creatures shall die and things shall be broken. That is the law of my clan. Originally, I was supposed to say that's the law of the samurai, but they also say that's the law of my clan in some translations. What's up, Doodle? How you doing? Huh. Doodle. You know what? That was the name of a character in a book I had to read like a few times in elementary school. I used to go to so many different schools when I was a kid that my class, every class I was in, I'd be like, I just read this damn book. It was The Scarlet Ibis, way back when. But as far as Doodle, and also Doodle was the name of an SK. Drop as many quotes as you want, sir. I like the quotes of the samurai. I like the quotes of the Ronin as well. I know they were mercenaries, but I also like the idea of a masterless samurai. Because there's some rules I just can't get with. I'm like, oh, he got taken out. So I gotta go too? Oh man, no. Yeah, nah, that's sad. But I totally get it. Like, huh, if you stick around long enough, I'll show you the animals. And remind you that there were a lot more. I had a keyword being were. Yeah, that's not a diss on the samurai. I love the samurai. I love the code of Bushido. I just know me. I like, that's why I like the Musashi so much. He became a vagabond. In fact, in a few of my quotes from Quote Battle, I've used a lot of Miyamoto Musashi. I know too. Sorry, I'm trying to keep a steady pace on my walk. Uh, I should have did this when it was nice and cold outside, but it was also like 2 in the morning. Yep, true. Although I'm going to use one quote that it's not gonna be in a quote battle. I might use it later down the line if I forget. I'm old, my memory sucks. But he said, he used a gas gun on you. That's not the way of the samurai. No, it is not. It is the way of the ninja, and their code is simply to get the job done. Uh, yeah, it's about time I buy a new jug. Yeah, like I always tell people, it's your channel. You do what you want to do. It's warm, but it's not hot yet. It's not summer, but at the same time, but it's only kicking me because it keeps switching in and out. You know, it's that spring. April showers bring May flowers and all that junk. Sorry, I was live streaming. I mean, I was talking inside. If I'm talking, I don't put people on camera. Yep. You know who also has some fun quotes for me? Surf Ninjas. I don't care. People can find that movie corny or not. I was a big Ernie Reyes Jr. fan since The Last Dragon. I followed him as much as I could. I remember him being in Ninja Turtles. Yep. Three Ninjas. I was with it until they made that High Noon and Mega Mountain nonsense. Let's see that. Yeah. It was Three Ninjas Kick Back, Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, and Three Ninjas High Noon and Mega Mountain. The third one didn't even have the original people. I mean, the fourth one didn't even have the original people in it. And I think the third one was filmed simultaneously with the first one, which is why Rocky was different in the second one. Believe it or not, at my job, there's actually someone who's an avid TMNT3 fan. And I was like, okay. How you doing, Peppy Chan? I saw part three a lot just because I owned that one. Only reason I owned that one was I don't know how I came across it. I know my mom didn't buy it for me. The one that hasn't come out yet with Marshala Ali. Well, I just want them to make it. Although, be honest, I wasn't happy with Trinity because they were trying to phase Blade out of the equation. But Blade also has a daughter, so whatever. Like people tried to say Wesley had a bad attitude on the Blade, but I'm like, you guys literally tried to phase him out of a movie that has his name in it. Yeah. But you know why I don't have a problem with Murphy? I don't know how to say his name, but you know why I don't have a problem with him playing Blade? Because he wasn't the first live action. He wasn't the first live action Blade. Well, not the first. After Wesley, there was another person who played Blade. He was in the rap group Onyx. His name is Sticky Fingers. He played Blade on the Spike TV show. It wasn't bad. Could have been better. Well, yeah, Wesley Snipes is Blade. He made that character popular. Heck, people still don't want to give him his flowers for making for a movie. You know, people that made people realize, oh wait, we can do comic book movies. And yes, there have been comic book movies that have been pretty good, in my opinion, way before that. But that was like the first one where they were able to bring it to the R-rated level and make a character totally cool. And a lot of people didn't know it was based off a comic book, which in that time, if you were a kid, you were probably watching the Spider-Man live action. I mean, you were watching the Spider-Man cartoon series in the 90s. So you had seen Blade on there. When Michael Morbius. Yep. I've used Blade quotes too. But yeah, nah, when it comes to Blade, special place in my heart. That's why that scene in Wolverine and Deadpool was so awesome. But as far as like making a new Blade movie goes, I'm down with it. See me, I'm not one of those people who I'm not gonna get mad if it's not good. I didn't invest any money into it, especially nowadays, well, with everything being streaming. But either which way, although they should strike while the iron's hot. I mean, because of Sinners, vampires have kind of got a comeback to watch the stain of Twilight off of them. I'm sorry, that's the only thing that I don't talk about on here is Twilight, because I can't say nothing positive about it, except that, well, got a bunch of girls interested in vampires, I guess. I don't know. Hold on. Adjusting my phone and there we are. It's supposed to be a water jug walk. You don't want to know my random thoughts on Twilight. Most I can say is it's got its fan base. There's a lot of them. I already told you I don't be diss. I try not to diss anything on here. You know that. My ex recommended that movie to me, and she's like, "What did you think?" I'm like, "Oh, I've never been so angry at another person in my life." Underworld? Huh. Well, not bad actually. I don't got nothing negative to say. Except for the same thing I always say. I get tired of them screwing over my werewolves, my lycanthropes. They always make them out to be weaker. Fun fact though, the guy that played Razor, that big dude, he's the one that wrote those. At least the first three, I think. Like he's a good writer. Plus, I like anything that has to do with hybrid creatures. Like it's always half human, half whatever. It was nice to see half creature, half creature. Kind of reminded me of Captain N in the Game Master, where the elves and dwarves were fighting over who created this artifact. And the dude just happened to still be alive. And he's like, I'm an Elworf, half elf, half dwarf. Yeah, nah, they have W in their name also. Werewolves. Plus, when it comes to vampires, my favorite quote comes from vampires, and I can't say it on here. It was James Woods when he explained what vampires were. But he's like, first of all, they're not romantic. They're not a bunch of quills rolling around in bad rented formal wear. Ha, that's your fault. You watched the Jurassic series. Once again, I'm not going to knock Jurassic. I will say this, though. Growing up the way I grew up, I don't see a reason to go see a bunch of dinosaurs brought back to life at a park. And especially when I'm like, this doesn't seem very safe for anybody. They haven't even got safari trips down all the way. And I'm not talking about in the actual, I'm talking about in Florida, where they be having tigers and stuff all over your car. No. Hmm. That is a great question. Well, it depends. I could say Edges of Darkness is the worst, but I love that movie. It's a guilty pleasure. It's kind of a zombie movie slash vampire movie slash, I don't know, it's an anthology series, but it varies. Plus, there's so many to choose from. Like, even if I pick one, I'll be like, oh, wait, that one was terrible too. Yeah. Not even like good trash. It ain't nothing that I'd recommend to people. I just like the movie. Hell, it's just like, because every movie had an Of Darkness eventually. Just like when I saw Ring of Darkness about a zombie vampire boy band. Was it good? No. But it was just funny. I was like, there's an idea I haven't seen, which I'm like, it's actually kind of brilliant, especially when the time when boy bands were the thing. Actually, they never went out. Boy bands still exist. If you don't believe me, consult with K-pop. Robin Big, how y'all doing? Y'all gravy? Let me see something. Yep, there's Robin Big right there. There's Cat chilling. Hey, Cat. Yeah. Oh, trash with no replay value. It's too many. I'll tell you that one that was trash that I thought was awesome though, and like no one saw it because it was a Showtime. It came on Showtime. It looked like a TV movie made by Showtime. It was called The Undead Express. It wasn't. It was a good kid vampire movie. What's up? That's Snapple. Although I will say this though, I'm not a big fan of like the Vampire's Assistant. That's probably the one I didn't like. But that just goes to my. I don't want to say dislike of John C. Riley. I'm just not a fan. I like Walk Hard though. There's Harry. There's Scrappy. Fix that eye for you. You always got that thing hanging out. There's Cash, big old Cash. Uh, and then there, Jackie. Hmm. Let's see how things are going. Hmm. Well, at least the chickens ain't been over here. Uh, y'all need water. All right, let me get y'all some water. There we go. I had to go get them some water and get myself. Hmm. I actually used a couple of quotes from Dracula 2000. I didn't think it was good, but I saw it. It also wasn't enough for me to hate on. Now the sequel, that was worse. But also, when you get a flood of vampire movies, not all of them are good. Not most of them are good. But then again, I'm not a critic and I'm not a reviewer because they tend to take their things as the gospel. I'm just like, if I don't like it, I just say I don't like it. Well, I didn't name these creatures. They're not my creatures. I just happen to be looking after them a lot. As far as the names go. You're not lying about Cabin Fever. But I only knew about like what, two of them. I didn't know there were more. I really didn't. But with Eli Roth, the first one, that was Eli Roth's movie, and that is what made him. You know, 'cause after that, I think he did Hostel. He became part of the Splat Pack, along with like Takashi Miike and the guy that did Wolf Creek. So you remember that wave of horror films that were coming out in the early 2000s? So there's that. Huh. I didn't watch Wrong Turn. I'll be honest. I never saw Wrong Turn. I saw a pretty good one called Splinter. But like I said, I saw a lot of movies, but I was also flooded because I was working at a video store and working at a movie theater. So I might have seen it and I don't remember it. That's how bad it was. I was also in my Tartan Extreme phase, which was like all the extreme Asian horror films, because that was a big thing back then. Yeah. Like Ringu, Ju-on, and Bloody Reunion. I love that one. Ichi the Killer, which wasn't really a horror film, but might as well have been. Oh, I seen both the remake and the original. Uh, the Hills Have Eyes Part Two remake was strange, but I only saw that because it was at my theater. And when you work there, you see whatever you see movies because you're either cleaning them or you got to go check the theater, so you end up watching a bunch. Never saw The Forest. I wasn't a big fan of Midsummer either. Like a lot of people love A24 films. Uh, I'm on the fence, kind of. Like I don't hate them, I don't love them. They just kind of there. They're good art films, I guess. Like a lot of people like Smile. I'm all right with it. I mean, I like the originality of it, but at the same time, it's not really my bag. See, I worked for Regal. I used to work for Regal Theaters, and I think they closed down when I worked at. Yeah, Screen Gems does good. I remember when it was all about New Line Cinema. What I'm waiting for is, I guess they finally got it distributed for that new Toxic Avenger movie. That I can't wait for. I've always been a Trauma guy. Yeah, it looks awesome too. You got Elijah Wood in it. I think Kevin Bacon's in it. Peter Dinklage playing the Toxic Avenger. And it's a remake, but they still keep to the practical gore effects and the ridiculousness. Ridiculousness done right is Trauma. I didn't watch Thunderbolts yet. I haven't been to the movies. I haven't even seen Sinners, and I want to see that. I really want to see Sinners, but no, I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. Although, like, unlike most, it's funny. I always see outrage on gender swapping characters and all that. No one complained when they made the Taskmaster a woman. I'm not passing on it. I like Ryan Coogler. And I love music. Hey, that's cool if you do. That's one thing I don't do, which is why I also don't like go too heavy on criticism of anything. It's the only reason I don't. Everybody got their jam. Of course, there's going to be a Six Purge film. They got another Final Destination coming out. I could have sworn it was supposed to be the Final Destination, but it's always a Final Destination. I will give it this though. The one thing I do appreciate about it is that they find a way to connect the films, no matter how flimsy. I'm not gonna criticize them for doing their thing on it. Plus, I don't criticize because I don't make movies. I just watch them. Plus, there's a ton of channels on here to do that. Like I said, mine is either like or anti, or I can see why people like it. Well, what's funny about I was gonna make a video about, like I always said, Glazers are notorious for accusing other Glazers of glazing. But to me, if you're a Glazer, so what? That's your business. Get yourself some business and stay out of mine when it comes to that. I be telling people that. I'm like, so what? I like it. You must like it too. You're spending all this time telling me why you hate it. But haters are what? Fans in denial. You know the drilly. Yeah. Except not really criticizing. I'm just like, oh I don't even remember half of the stuff I be saying. I told her I remember some of it when it's prudent, but it's mostly just like quote battles and stuff. Or like if I made a video on something, because sometimes people ask me things. I'm like, I made a video on that a while ago. Just like sometimes I have videos where I repeat myself, where I'm like, I said I'm repeating myself. Like when they tell me I just press record. Hey, what up, Kendall? How you doing, yo? I'm chilling. I'm just outside with the pets. Birds over there chilling. But that's why, I'm just whatever. And that's what I be saying, like for a lot of live streamers, there'll be people that sit up there and take the time to clip a live stream. And I'm like, I guess that's cool that you do, but it kind of doesn't make sense. It's like you're holding them to them probably been on for hours. I'm like, they spent 6 hours chopping it up. How yeah, all's well with me. I'm just chilling. Woke up, had to get the dogs some water. They already ate. Chickens already ate. Waiting for this other one to lay so I can pick up the eggs. Yeah, keeping it simple. It's my day off. Yeah, they've called me all kinds of stuff from my quote battles, and I'm just sitting here going, huh. The funniest part, but the difference between his quote battles and my quote battles is that I usually tag what the video is like, what I'm referencing, but I don't put it in hashtags. Like it's, when you do your edit of your video, where it's like at the bottom they have tags, or like when you're gonna do a stream, you have tags after you recorded it. So, I just put the tags on there. It's kind of archaic, but usually whatever quote I'm using will go into the category of whatever I'm talking about. So it's like when I quoted Fern Gully. So if somebody were to look up Fern Gully, they'd probably find my quote. I doubt it. I don't even know if it's still there. But I used the Batty quote about humans not having tails. They have big, big bottoms that they wear. And somebody was like, just admit you're gay. And I'm like, sounds like hope. I don't know. It sounds like he was hoping I was. But instead of me going ahead and giving that kind of an answer, I either A, delete the quote, or B, tell them it's from a movie. Like I had to do that a couple of times. I did one from Why the Last Man, which was one of my favorite graphic novels. I call it a comic book, but the quote was he said, what was it? Oh yeah, he had said, I read her book on secular humanism. It was interesting. Yeah, it seems like when you're circling the drain, atheism loses its luster. And somebody wrote to me, stop, stop believing in imaginary men in the sky. And I wrote, stop trying to give unwanted advice to a person quoting comic books. Oh, cartoonish or negative or funny. My favorite ones are the paragraphs. Like when they write these whole things, somebody said they threatened to paragraph me once because they misunderstood what I was saying on the vid. And I was like, the point he was making, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Get over yourself. And then he wrote, I was going to paragraph you. And I'm like, okay. I would have deleted it because I don't really read long paragraphs. If you're going to write to me on this channel, know that I'm not reading no paragraphs. I read enough books all day. I don't need to read what somebody wrote. That's as quick and concise. I give generic, basic answers on anybody's channel, and you can attest to that. Like my comments are like, cool, nice. That's poetry. I keep it nice and simple. Like to talk further? Speak to me or write to me. And when I say write to me, I don't mean in the comment section. Like I read these because the people take the time to be on the live stream. So I'm like, I'm gonna read what they say. Unless it just goes into some territory of trying to talk mess. And my favorite are the ones that try to be articulately negative, as I like to call it, where they write this long thing and put in bad comparisons. And at the same time, I'm just like, huh, the fact that you wrote all that lets me know that you're really hoping for that ratio. And I hate to disappoint you, but delete. Yep. They walk around. Yep. That's the one. Hi, Helen. And that's what it is. That's why we do quotes, being easy. We do that for each other because when we started, we weren't even quoting movies. We were just always talking about how we watch a lot of movies, and we was talking about how we would quote flicks, and our friends wouldn't know what we were talking about. And it was just funny because I don't mind telling people where is it from if they ask where is that from. Nobody ever asks. But like with me and Easy, we usually know what each other's talking about. But it's also hilarious because he started it. He hit me with a thing, a movie quote. He's like, I'm gonna quote at you. And he said he did a Jerry Maguire. So that's how that all kicked off. Then I started like going crazy with it. I was putting out like 5 or 6 a day. Hey, mine. What's up? Yep, I'm chilling. Good to see you. I'm actually here. I would show y'all, but right now I'm tired. My Vaseline ain't fully rubbed into my face. Yep, PMC is in the house too. We just sitting up here chopping it up. Oh, you can't sleep? Welcome. You know what? That happened to me. Like that's why I'm not really looking right now. I can't see because I went to sleep at sunrise, which is what I used to do. But somehow I woke up like just in a couple of hours. I had to sleep that felt like it wasn't very long, and when I looked at the clock, I knew it wasn't long, but I couldn't go back. Insomnia attack. But PNC, one of the people that I always go to his channel and be chopping it up about wrestling on, he had I was on his channel. He's told him straight. He's like, I didn't even know Anubis had a channel, and he said, and I was like, he's like, it's kind of like Seinfeld. It really ain't about nothing. And he's like, that's what he says. And I'm like, I never called it Seinfeld. Seinfeld had good writing. I just wasn't a fan. Yep, it's the shadow. Well, I showed everybody the animals. They all ran, except for Harry over here. Harry always looking for some food or looking for a way to get in the house. And we wouldn't mind him being in the house, but he likes to poo poo everywhere. Jackie's still in there laying her egg. Cash is looking dusty. I don't know what he was doing. I don't even want to know. Scrappy, he's laid out. They're in their favorite shed, even though we got these nice dog houses for them. But the shed has a bed, so I get it. Yep, a glass of milk, I guess. They say warm milk. What was that? Was that? Oh, y'all just in here? Okay, then. Where's Cat? Cat's probably on the bed. Not Cash, Cat. Ah, yeah. Well, what else works? Ribs, turkey. There's Cat. Cat's always lounging, pawing stuff. And there's Rob. Rob is a paranoid one. Big don't care. Big just be chilling. Rob always want to scrap. That's why this rabbit den is all. It ain't supposed to look like this. Normally the hay is all nice and set in there, and they get their food. But Rob likes to take it upon himself to drag all this stuff around the room to like establish dominance. He ain't even dominant. He's just got a little rabbit complex. If Casper in here, he'd freak out. As long as he's not. Well, if Casper in his cage, he'd freak out. There's Snapple. She's always rearranging her stuff. My sister normally does like the cleaning of the cages and stuff, but she went and took her son and her dude. They're out at the museum way far on the other side of town. A part of town I don't even go to. Even the zip code is wonky to me. I'm like, ugh. And that's something only you know when you're here. Like if you're actually here in this city, like it's just for me, like I always stay like relegated to certain parts of town for only other reason that I know all of these parts of town, and when I'm somewhere else, it just feels weird. Plus, they're always building new stuff. Like when I was taking one of my walks to work, I walked by, like this place I used to be at used to just be a big desert. Mind you, this was like 3 years ago. It was a desert for many years, and then I come back and it's an apartment complex in 3 years, and it probably got built within a year, from what my sister tells me. Oh man, that's a waste of a good bell pepper. Well, it's not good. It's all toe up. I could have hollowed that out, put some rice inside of it. Um, use some of my vegetarian ground beef I got. Because I got vegetarian ground beef. But yeah, I haven't done a walk in a water jug walk. Like I've just been getting up and walking to work or taking random walks, but they weren't random walks. So I ain't really have nothing on the brain. Well, that's not true. I've been concocting bars and stuff, like writing bars and just writing. You're sitting up there saying, throw that camera out the window for that condescended. Follow like the Batchin, but the story's never ended. Back up, Harry. You know better. Don't peck at my feet. You ain't gonna do nothing. Mm. Cash, you ain't gotta get up. Ain't nothing going on. I ain't got no treats for y'all. I'm trying to find some healthier treats. And y'all gotta wait till I got more money. Got more money, I'm gonna buy y'all some healthier treats. Yep. That's two of them. They're not for eating though. They gave them names. If they give an animal a name that isn't food related, it kind of messes everything up. There's the other one inside of there. See, that's what you get messing with me. Ah, how long have I been here for? Oh, okay. There's a timer right on the side. This is how often I pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm also trying to learn how to work OBS. Like I'm getting all of that together, so that'll be good. That way, when I stream, I'll do it from a dun 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 from a stationary place. It won't just be me moving around. Oh, Scrappy? Yeah, Scrappy's cool. He's combative. Ugh. Like if I pet one, see, the other one gets over here, and then they start fighting. Well, they don't fight; they play. They're dog. Cash is a big kid, very protective though. He don't just come over. He will rock you if he don't know you. See, there they go, fighting for attention. Ew, stop drooling on me. This has actually been fun. Yeah, they're good dogs. Yeah, very smart. They're also very devious. See, there's Jackie. Like, don't get it twisted. They got coops and stuff, but they for some reason they all congregate in the shed. I think they share warmth, which is weird because these two don't go to bed without their freaking blankets. These ones, they're in there. So it's not like they're it's not like they're angry or mean or nothing. They all look out for each other. Cash is real. Cash, the big one, he's real protective of everything and everybody. Boo, Jackie. Dang. I mean, no, Harry. Harry. I always get them confused. I don't be knowing. They, every time they come here, they fly and they just start pooping over everything. That was weird. She wasn't lying. They do make some crazy sounds. And there's Cat, fresh with the haircut. They're not my animals. I'm a vagabond. I don't live anywhere. At my sister's house. I just be over here chilling, helping out when I can. It's just like when I was in Alabama. That's where I was in the South. That ain't my home. I'm not from anywhere. I'm a nomad. Oh yeah, my old band shirt, my old band hoodie. I mean, my band button up. All that really belongs to me are some clothes, PlayStation, and that's about it. Did you just release it? I might have seen, I might not. I be checking these things. Yesterday I was trying to. I was checking out live streams. But sometimes this doesn't give me indicators. Like either A, they won't tell me somebody released a video, which is weird 'cause I got notifications on it. And B, this is my favorite. Sometimes I lose comments. Like if I don't see it mentioned on the mobile phone, I have to go into the studio. And sometimes it's not even in the studio. I've had Easy tell me a couple of times that he sent comments on certain things, and I'm like, "You did?" And I couldn't find it anywhere. Let me check it out though. I just caught it. I just caught it. Yeah, very nice. I love the view. I get the sunset over the mountains when I get a chance. That's my favorite sunset. Either that or I've just seen them so much that that's what I become used to. But I love a good sunset over an ocean too. That was at Cali living. Whenever we go to the beach. Up there's Jackie. Ugh. You were there so long, you must have made eggs or an egg. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just one fresh egg. Got to go put it in the container. Yeah, that's you. You stepped into the bowl. Putting the egg in the egg container. There's already a full one. They lay almost every day. I think it's a weather thing. When it's too cold, like maybe one will lay. Sometimes they both don't, but most of the time they lay at least every day, each one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got to see Jackie. I was just about to leave, but I don't know why I would leave. I'm not doing nothing interesting. Go, 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 go. I have to do that sometimes because they keep trying to get in the house, but they already know what they'll do. Uh, yeah, it's good to be back with my fam. Talked to my other sister. And I talked to my cousins, and I hit them all up because the first thing I wanted to do when I got out here was find a job. I don't like to go nowhere without having a job to go to, because then I just feel like I'm just laying around doing jack. Plus, too much free time, and I'll be on here streaming like 24/7, and I'm not doing that. I'm always hydrated, Semper Fi, right there. You know that. Just showing and hanging out with the animals. Simplify, y'all get on Simplify's channel. She needs to make more videos. She be having a lot of interesting stuff to say. Much more interesting than me. Y'all know I just talk about whatever comes on my brain that day. Oh, what time is it here? It is 11:52. It's about to be noon, which means it's like what, almost 4 a.m. where you're at. Maybe almost 3 a.m. My time zones are messed up right now. What's up, Scrappy? I'm hitting up another 3 minutes. That way it'll actually be a solid hour. If Easy were here, I'd be going crazy. Deranged, chilling. Mm. Why are you pecking the window? You're not getting in. Stop that. Yeah, what I'm about to do now is go watch me some videos. Possibly even play a video game. And they delivered this box to the wrong place. So got to get rid of that. That's just like when I was down south. They delivered my camera to another house. I had to go find it, knock on the door. At least they had a nice landing picture of it. So all I had to do was go look. And I was like, all right. Talk to the neighbors, let them know. Oh, that's mine. That belongs to me. Is the AC on? Oh, system's off. Okay, good. Mm. Give me some more water, and then I'm out of here. Mm. And as for y'all go have a good day now. Much love and peace out.